What if I told you that the final barrier between you and true video automation just collapsed? While everyone is still fumbling with frame extraction and separate audio transcription, a breakthrough discovery process with human-like comprehension at machine speed has just come out. If you're like most automation specialists, you've been stuck with clunky, with expensive, different workarounds that treat video like moving pictures, plus the audio. And these limitations are costing you everything. Google just changed the rules entirely. We're talking about native multimodal video understanding for both direct uploads and YouTube content. And this is the iPhone moment for video automation. For us in the automation space, this means automatically categorizing thousands of videos, extracting the insights from client calls, and building intelligent pipelines that understand context. And forward-thinking business owners and content creators are already using this to decode audience behavior, to optimize performance, and to build systems that work while they sleep. And in this video, I want to show you exactly how to do that. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss future videos and to get notifications when new videos come out, because this is really a big breakthrough in the whole video content creation world. With that said, let's get right into it. So over here, what I have is a simple workflow, which I was building earlier, that just takes a YouTube video, which we are providing right here, and it will give a text summary of it, because here I said, give me a 3-sentence summary, or please summarize the video in 3 sentences. So here, if we look at the output, we had the video showcases a demo of a multimodal live streaming in Gemini 2.0 AI Studio. The presenter streams a document to the AI, which then reads the highlighted text, defines a word, and starts to tell a boring story. Great. And if we have a look at what the video was about, and this is the direct Google Gemini video, there's a demo of this tool in action. So how do we actually build this? And that is the question that we shall address. So if we look at Google's documentation right here, which is actually this right here, we have all the information we need. So here, under Google AI for Developers, we have the model capabilities, and we have video understanding. So once you click on that, you get all this. So there's video input, uploading a video, and we'll look at this in a second, because there are multiple parts to it. When it comes to YouTube, if you keep scrolling down, you have include a YouTube URL. So here you have the curl request right here. If we look a bit closer, all we need here is a Google API key and the prompt that we will need to pass along. So please summarize the video in 2 sentences. And then we have the file URI, which is the full YouTube URL. So pretty straightforward. The issue is that if you try and copy this code sample and you go to n8n and then you create a new workflow, you add a trigger, and if you try and make an HTTP request and import that curl, that seems to work as well. To work as well. When I tried this a couple of days earlier, there was some issues with that. So yeah, pretty cool. Awesome. So that works. As you can see here, you just need the Google API key. It's also a query parameter. So in my case, under authentication, I've already added this, so it's saved in n8n. And to do that, you just go to generic credential type, you choose query auth, and then you can add a new credential right here. So in this case, the name will be key, and then the value will be the actual value from Google's API key right here. So here in Google's AI Studio, we can create a new API key, and this will give you a new code or a new API key that you copy paste over here when you create that new credential, right? So key is the name and value is the actual API key. So in my case, I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to choose my query auth API key from Google Gemini right here. And then I'm just going to test with this. So I'm going to keep the same prompt, the same video, just execute step, just so I can see whether this works as expected. And this is all in real time. So you'll see how fast or how slow that is, which I think is, not too bad. Took only a few seconds. And you have some additional metadata there, text, audio, video, how many tokens that used. and we have the output result right there. So if we just have a look at that in a better version or in a better view and just use text, we can pin this data, run this again, and now we get the information right here. So here's a summary of that in 3 sentences. And obviously we can change the prompt as well. So it doesn't have to be in 3 sentences. I can say, what is this video about? So now if I unpin and execute again, you should get a somewhat similar yet different sort of output. So again, this is learning in real time. That finished. I'm going to pin this and I'm going to run the edit fields. So here's the information about what the video is about. In the video, the person asks the multimodal AI assistant to read the highlighted text of a demo presentation. So we have all that right there. And as far as I know, this is taking both the transcript and also the information that is happening in the video to create that output. So there's a bunch of things happening behind the scenes. So this is, let's call it Gemini video analysis, YouTube plus manual input video. This is the thing I want to have a look at next. So this is all well and good, right? We provide a YouTube video and that will analyze and provide the updates on the YouTube video. So what I'm doing here, YouTube video, that is the first part of the whole automation. But what if we want to upload something directly into n8n, like a custom video, right? And I think this is where the real power comes in, because it's not always going to be a YouTube video. So what I want to do, first of all, is just find a video that I can use. So let me just do that. And maybe a good way of doing this would be to just record a Loom video right here that will show me going to Google, I don't know, and doing a quick search. So let me just go to Google here. I'm going to start Loom. And then we'll be able to pass this to Gemini. So in this video, I'm going to use Google to scroll through the home page. And then if I make a quick search about Malta, I'll get the information about Malta. So there is that image. There's the image from the map. There's Valletta, which is the capital city. And there are some things to do right here. And here there are 4 different places of things to potentially do while staying in Malta. Cool. So that is the Loom video right there. I'll let this process. I'll download this in a second once it finishes processing. And then we'll import this into n8n. So in the meantime, let's just set this up in n8n. So then it will be ready to go for this Loom video. So here, in this case, I'm going to use an n8n form as the starting point. So let's use a trigger on an n8n form. So that will be able to import data directly into n8n. So this will be the video loader form. And in this case, let's say load videos as the title. We can put a form. Over here, let's add a form element, which is the video, which will be a file. Multiple files is no. We can leave this empty and we'll make this required. So this will now look something like that. So the user has the option to choose a file. Cool. Let's refresh this and see if this is ready for downloading, and not yet. So if we go back to Google's documentation and we scroll up a bit, as you will see here, there are a few different parts in this uploading a video file. So there is the actual file upload, which is starting file upload, right? So this is the first part. And then we have the generate content using uploaded video. So we'll need to use this in order to get the response. And here we also have the prompt we need to provide. Summarize this video, create a quiz with answers, with an answer key based on the information in this video. So there's a lot of things that you can do, even, or that maybe before were tough to do. If you were just getting a transcript, maybe some things might have been lost. Even if it was about just getting transcripts, there's, again, different things that can be done based on the prompt that you give it right here. It's not just limited to that video transcript. So yeah, those are the 2 parts that we will need. So we'll need to upload the video, and then we'll need to use this to get the information from the video. So let's just start with that. So here I'm just going to copy this curl, and I'm just going to try and copy this as a whole. Again, before it was not really working as expected, but let's see, maybe that will now be better. Let's stop this. Let's make an HTTP request. Let's try and import that curl. Hit paste. Okay, now that seems to work as expected immediately. And the way this works right here is we need to update a few things. So here for body content type, it will be an n8n binary file. So we'll pass the data field name from the video there. And we need to pass the size over there. And we need to pass the Google API key. And I believe that might just be it. So in this case, let's turn off the query parameter. Let's use the same authentication, which is a query auth, Google Gemini. And let's just give this a better name. So upload to Gemini, upload video to Gemini. Let's save. Let's refresh this, see if this is ready for download. It is. So I'll download that video. Cool. And I have my video right here. So now, if we go back here and I execute this workflow, I should be able to choose that video. Hit submit. And the response has been recorded. Great. So now we got that video uploaded right there. What I want to do, if possible, is just pin this video. Okay. Has reached the maximum allowed pinned data. Okay, so let's remove that. Can I pin it now? No. So I think it's 17 out of 12 megabytes. Fair. Okay, so it's a bit on the bigger side, I guess. Let's close this. These errors right here. So what I want to do here, again, did I just delete? Okay. Upload video to Gemini. Not sure why I deleted that. So here we get the binary data, as you can see right here. The file size will be this right here. So if I go to JSON, I get the size that I can pass right here, which is the value there. So that should be that in bytes. And here for the input data field name, let's just choose video. Okay, still can't pin. So let's see what happens if I just try and execute this step. Okay, so I think, yeah, we need to execute the whole workflow. No worries. So let's execute this. Let's choose the file again. Submit. And we're getting a file too large here. Fair enough. So I think we'll need to find a way to make that video smaller, which might be a bit of an issue at this stage because the video is obviously just a few seconds long. So in this video, maybe one thing to do would be, if you have I guess larger videos, to upload them to YouTube and then use that YouTube link. Because at the end of the day, 12 megabytes isn't that big of a deal. So let's see, maybe we can, yeah, I'll try to make this smaller off screen and then come back to this recording. One thing I noticed as I'm looking at this video documentation is that here we have resumable, we have start, we have the mime type, which when I copied this right here, like we don't get the mime type listed, for example. So I'm not sure if that curl has something missing in it. So what I'm going to try before trying something different, we have that temporary header file, which I'm not sure what that is, but let me just confirm that I have all the headers included. So upload protocol, resumable, that's good. Upload command is start, good. Content length, bytes, good. We have this, which is the mime type, which for some reason does not seem to exist. So let's add a parameter there, which is the mime type right here. And we have the content type application JSON. Okay, cool. File display name, which I don't think we're passing along, but let's try this once more. Okay, Let's execute the whole thing. Submit. Okay, request is too large. So let me try and get a smaller video. Okay, so after some digging around and finding this video by n8n, which was super helpful, and having a look at his blueprint, what needs to happen is the following. So I had some missing parameters in my original request here that I got from Google. And what was missing were, number one, here we need to have the upload commands, which apparently aren't just start. We also have to upload and finalize. We have the content length, which we had already, the upload header content type, which is video MP4, which is what we had already. However, here in this case, we're just using the file extension rather than, I guess, or yeah, no, this is the MIME type. I guess JSON, yeah, that's the MIME type, so we had that. And here we have another thing for content type, which I don't believe we had. Then I left this as is, an n8n binary file, which is the video data. So that is just about getting the video inputted from my form and uploading it to Google. What we need to do then is have this wait stage, because as we are uploading, this wouldn't immediately be available on Google, right? We want to give it time to upload there and then be able to process it. So that wait time is doing exactly that. In my case, I left it to 10 seconds. What you can also do is have a polling step. So essentially over here, you don't really know if 10 seconds will always be enough. So what you can say is that if this error is out, we can go back to waiting 10 seconds and then trying that again, right? So imagine I put in this as 2 seconds, I don't know, and I run this again. I can load the video, I can explore or use that video, the exploring Malta. Now if I close this, I will probably run into an error, probably, but maybe not. Okay, no, I didn't. So simply because the video is quite small in size, so just uploaded that immediately without any errors. So you can also try to do this without the wait, but there might be a chance that you run into errors, especially with bigger video sizes. So if I choose the file, choose that again, hit submit. Let's see what we get now. Again, it's a relatively small video size. Yeah. So as you can see here, we ran into an error. So then what you can do, if you run into an error, you can wait and then you try again. So maybe the wait, you don't need to do it immediately from the beginning. So you can do that, and now if we run into the same error, this should wait, as you can see, and then try again. So try it again, and now it went down the success route. And down the success route, we have a very similar thing to what we had with the YouTube video before. So we have the file URI, which will be the information that gets passed from the upload right here. So that's the whole URI or URL, I guess, where the file will be stored. We have the MIME type, and we have the prompt right here. And this is a detailed description of what happens in the video. So here this is saying, let's just have a set here. So we can just grab this right here, and it will be easier to read. So if I execute this, yeah, need to run this the whole thing again. So choose file, export, hit save. And now this should create wait, do the analysis again. And now over here, I get that information. Here's a detailed description. The presenter says they will use Google to scroll through the home page and then do a quick search about Malta. They type in Malta. The search results appear. The presenter scrolls through the Google search results, which shows general information, photos, the map, weather, flag, and FAQs. Go to Valletta. So yeah, popular spots to visit in Valletta, such as St. John's Cathedral, Upper Baraka, Grandmaster's Palace Courtyard. Great, because those are not things that I actually mentioned in the video. So I believe, actually I don't believe I did. So if I go back here and I look at the very end, so I say capital city, things to do. I hover over them, yeah, and I say there are 4 different places here. So it's not just looking at the transcript, it's also looking at what actually is happening using image recognition to understand the different things happening in the video. So that's a great thing. So that's the whole workflow right here. We have the steps for YouTube right here, and we have the steps for uploading to Gemini right here, and then getting that analysis done. So check out Nate's video if you want to his direct blueprints, or I'll also make this blueprint available in the link below, so that you can also use this if you find it to be more simplistic and easier to get up and running with. That is all from my end. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons below so you don't miss future videos. And in the meantime, I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll speak to you soon.